Now, this part is for my future self, to future Zainab. So it says, and to future Zainab, if you ever come back to read this, maybe after a hard day, maybe while reminiscing, maybe just to feel close to the version of you who wrote this, I hope you're proud of how far you've come. I hope your eyes are softer now. I hope your laugh comes easier. I hope your world feels more like home, because right now it doesn't. And if today happens to be a heavy day, please remember you've carried worse and still made it beautiful. I hope you're not chasing anyone's approval anymore. I hope you're not shrinking yourself to keep the peace. I hope you're surrounded by gentleness inside and out. I hope you're being so much kinder to yourself than you used to be. I hope you're doing work that fulfills you and living in a space that finally feels like home. I hope you're laughing freely, loving deeply, and creating boldly. I hope your circle is small but sacred. I hope you still look in the mirror and whisper, you did it, you're doing it. But if you're struggling, if something feels uncertain, I want to remind you that there was a version of you who made it through nights of loneliness, doubt, and grief with nothing but faith, willpower, and a heart that wouldn't quit. You were never fragile, even when you broke. You were always soft, but never weak. Please don't forget that strength lives in you, even when you don't feel it. And if the world is feeling blurry right now, slow down, breathe, and remember you've never needed to have it all figured out to be worthy. You're already enough exactly as you are. I hope by now the peace you were searching for has rooted itself in your routines. I hope you have joy that feels stable, not borrowed, and love that feels safe, not conditional. I hope you wake up feeling like life is yours to hold, not survive. And I hope you never forget the girl who held you through the dark, the girl who clung to hope in rooms that felt cold, who recorded voice notes with trembling hands, who still chose light even when no one clapped for her. You don't owe her perfection, you just owe her the promise to keep going. And if you've forgotten any of this, that's okay. You can come back to this letter as many times as you need. Just don't forget, this was written in the Becoming Zainab era, the season where everything quietly began to bloom. You're allowed to begin again. You always have been, with all the love in the world, from the Zainab who fought to get you here. Oh my god. This is for my future self, but I'm already like, I don't know. So that was that. I just feel like I'm so dramatic sometimes, but I don't know. I just love it for myself. It's not dramatic, is actually not the word. I like to romanticize my life. That's how I am. So the whole thing that prompted this was just starting my job, like finally getting a job after I've been searching for one for so long. And I have been working now for like almost 2 weeks, and it has been so interesting. Just having a job, having a routine, a 9 to 5 has just made me see myself in like different aspects. I am getting exposed to new experiences, meeting new people, feeling more secure and confident in myself when I achieve tasks at work, when I make progress, a whole lot of things. Honestly, there hasn't been anything negative, and I know it won't always be positive. Apart from just finding it difficult to wake up early in the morning because I'm normally not a morning person, but it just feels nice to go out every day and then come back. Although when I'm back, I'm already really exhausted. There are some things that I am still adjusting to. So there's still trying to adjust to the routine, the right food to eat, getting the right meals at work, not buying food, a whole lot of things that I'm trying to adjust to. But I'm also giving myself grace. I'm trying not to overwhelm myself. I'm trying not to be perfect at things, even at work. Just learning to ask questions. There's also, I don't want to get into it, a deep dive, but then there are like inner thoughts in my head, even when I'm at work. There's the fear of being perceived. You know how online people talk a lot about how like work cultures are toxic. You need to say the right things, do the right things, act a certain way. So when I am at work, everyone has been nice so far. Everything is all good. But then there are always these thoughts in my head. Okay, how are people perceiving you? Like whenever I talk to my colleagues, there's always this thought that, okay, am I saying the right thing? Did I say anything wrong based on like how you shouldn't be? Just a whole lot of things. So it's just sometimes telling myself that it's okay to make mistakes sometimes. I know that I won't make the worst horrible mistakes in terms of communicating with my colleagues because I know my boundaries, I know things to say, but then just that me being nitpicky and then just not wanting to like make any mistakes or be wrong or not to offend anyone. I don't want to ruffle any feathers, those little things. But yeah, I guess apart from that, and it's also telling myself that I belong in that space. I've worked hard for it. I am competent. I know what I am doing. And honestly, that's it. Nothing too serious. It's just those thoughts in your head that tend to come up, those like imposter syndrome, to summarize it, self sabotage, stuff like that. But apart from that, honestly, everything has been all good. It's been like 2 weeks almost since I recorded a video. So, you know how I make those like diary entries where most of them are always emotionally charged because I was really sad and going through like heartbreak or like just healing from whatever. But then these past few weeks, honestly, have been really good and stable. There are times where I get sad over stuff, you understand, but it's never been like those videos where I'm really sad in this room and just in my head and just feeling really down. I haven't had that. I think it's because maybe I'm coming to terms with things and then I've gotten busy. There's also that aspect, I'm very sure. But then, like, I don't know, like, those things don't really feel like problems anymore. Those people, I don't really care. Sometimes I do care, I don't want to lie, but then it's not like in a really sad, devastating, painful way. I do even plan on making a video about it, talking about the type of peace I have. I just find it's very interesting that I feel at peace and not sad, but then I find it weird. It feels weird and uncomfortable that I feel this peace because I think my brain has gotten accustomed to that feeling of sadness. So it's like now, whenever I'm happy, my brain is like, why are you happy? What's going on? I thought we're sad. I thought we're heartbroken. And then I'm looking for that sadness. So I don't want it to be a trauma bonding thing where it becomes a thing. We don't want to be hurt, to live in that hurt forever. We want to go through it and we don't even want to go through it, but then when we get hurt, even though we don't want to, we want to go through it, whether gracefully or not, but then learn what we can from it, grow from it, and then leave. Yeah, that's that. I don't really have any other thing to say. But if my future self is watching this video, I don't know what to say to you. Most likely, I know you won't watch this video in the next till maybe like in the next 1 year or two. Most likely not a year, I doubt it. But then maybe in the next 2 years. I hope you're in a better place. Now is really good. Like things have really gotten better. You're doing so well. Like you've been through so much shit that I am so proud of myself. I'm so proud of you. Like wherever you are now, it's because of me. I am the reason. Even looking back, I'm so proud of how I have been able to push through difficult situations and just be strong and keep pushing and advocating for myself and trying to walk in my mind and convince myself that things are going to be fine and convince myself that I can do it and I am capable and I am strong, because sometimes it's not even about what the world is saying or things that are happening around you. Sometimes it's just in your head. It takes so much strength to convince yourself that you're capable, that you're good, that you can do this, you can achieve this. Because even like now that I'm going to work, sometimes I find it like, wow, I actually did this. Because I remember those days when I was job hunting and sending CVs and not getting anything. Things felt so bleak. Things like there was so many other things that were going on in my life that were just making the situation worse. And everything felt like the whole world felt like it was crumbling down. And then there's the same where people are like, even whatever is happening in your life, the world is not going to pause for you to take a breath. And that was how I felt. I felt so overwhelmed, but then I still had to keep pushing. And even though I felt like what I was even doing wasn't enough, But then I know it's not only by my intelligence or smartness or anything. I know it's also by Allah's mercy. And I'm also grateful for that. And then to think that, I don't know, like when I look at where I am now, I'm thinking, wow, like I actually did it. Sometimes when I'm going to work, or especially when I enter the building or I log into my computer, I'm like, wow, so this is my life now. I know people don't like their jobs. I know that even for me it's going to get tiring at a point in time, but then sometimes I think, wow, you actually did this. Like this is something you prayed for and wanted and you did it. I don't know how to explain this, but it just reminds me, it just increases my self-esteem, my confidence, and just it just reminds me, because sometimes I tend to forget how capable I am and how strong I am and how much I have achieved. It's like how I processed coming for my masters here in the UK all on my own and navigated the masters and Bristol and did that. So I did that all on my own, that whole process, even being in the UK. And at a point in time, I was doubting myself and thinking, can I even do this job thing? Can I even do this staying back? You get what I mean? But then I was able to do it. There's still so much that needs to be done. There's still so much work and things to achieve. And I'm learning to take it one at a time and then realizing that it's not a one day thing, it's not a one time thing, and it's going to take time. And I'm learning to be okay with that and not forcing myself to always be like, go, 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 go. What's the next thing? Grind, grind. I've even realized that, like, sometimes my brain is always on overdrive. Sometimes my brain is like, okay, so for example, if I'm feeling lazy to, let's say I have a to-do list to do either some work or edit a YouTube video, and then I don't feel like it. I don't know why, but then my brain is like, okay, do something else. Okay, reply these messages, check this mail. It's like my brain wants me to do something. And I'm like, why can't I just rest, not do anything? Why do I always have to feel? Because I think sometimes I've tied my self-esteem to productivity. So when I'm not being productive, when I am not achieving things, then I feel lazy, I feel not worthy, I feel like I'm not being a good, I don't know how to explain it. But when I am achieving tasks, when I'm ticking off my to-do list, when I'm doing things, then it just makes me feel better. And I don't think that's healthy. It's something that I clocked recently about myself. I wasn't really aware about it before. And I think honestly I have had this problem since India. But then what happened was, in India it wasn't so bad, because what caused it, I think before I used to classify myself as a lazy person, and I think I was to an extent, especially when I was in India. I used to kind of do the bare minimum. I did finish with a first class and everything, but then still I wanted more for myself. I don't want to get into that. So how do I summarize this? Now I've already said that. But so I remember then in India, especially my last year, I kept making to-do lists. I had a Notion, I had a journal. I was trying to lose a lot of weight. So I was very specific, always having a to-do list for a whole year. So it just became a thing for me. And coming to the UK a year later, immediately after I left India, that requires a whole new level of time management from you, and just making sure that you're on point with your tasks and getting things done. You cannot afford to waste time. So I think that just made the condition worse. But then my life right now does not really require that level of go, 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 if you get what I mean. So I'm just trying to tell myself that sometimes it's okay to not do things or not do everything. Just rest, Zainab. Take a chill pill. Because if not, I'll burn out. So in essence, all I'm saying is I'm just trying to take things one at a time, and it feels really nice. Almost last 4 or 5 videos that I have done on this channel, like diary entries, they're all not sad, like they're all good. I'm all happy. It's all about happiness and feeling at peace and growth. And it just feels so good to see, because if you check my channel, especially the beginning, they were always sad videos. Either I'm heartbroken or complaining about jobs, or sad or complaining about not being productive in Ramadan. February and March, I think, they weren't the best months. They were really difficult. I didn't even think I would be at peace this early or happy. When I was in that phase, sometimes when you're in something, you feel like it's a forever thing, and you feel like it's a never ending cycle that's going to be there for so long. But you never know. Maybe it's just a 1 month or 2 months or 3 months thing, and you would be out of it way sooner than you expected. Because honestly, things are good, alhamdulillah. Let me not keep repeating myself. But yeah, I hope, I don't know what to say, but whatever it is you're going through in life, this is very cliche, but then I am really believing that you would get out of it, I guess. But that's all I wanted to say. If you watch till the end, that's very interesting. I find it like, I don't know, but yeah. See you in my next diary entry. Bye. Wait, before I say bye, 1 minute. I don't even know what the next entry would be because I said bye, but I have to say this. I think what this is something else I want to talk about because another thing that prompted this whole diary entry and YouTube thing, one of the reasons was from a place of pain and heartbreak and healing. And I'm a bit not worried, but then I don't feel those emotions anymore. So because even for my diary entry now, I'm wondering like I have a whole playlist on my channel where it's basically about heartbreak and healing. And then I don't have any video to make for that playlist because I don't feel sad or heartbroken. Does that make sense? So now I'm wondering, like, do I really? I know I have something to share. Like, definitely there are things going on in my life and everything, but then I don't have those strong emotions anymore that prompt diary entries. Does that make sense? It would most likely be me talking about other things, making videos about other things, like maybe my Bristol videos, which now that I have a job, I'm finding that it's really difficult to balance making videos that require scripts and a lot of research. But then I'm taking it one at a time because this is something I love. So I'm trying to still be dedicated to it because I don't want my job to be my entire life. I guess I would say don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to add. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.